with coverage you can count on. This is WNEMTV5 News.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to TV5 Wake-Up. What a snowy overnight. Here is a live look of our mid-Michigan roads from our TV5 Road Warrior, and you can see a snowy start for us on this Wednesday. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Blake Keller in for Colette. Meteorologist Chris Eastlick is tracking the snow, and you're saying not a lot left to go, but we are seeing a mix in some parts.
Yeah, not as far as numbers are concerned, Blake. I think it's maybe another inch or two in some of our northern areas, a little bit less so off to the south towards I-69, but still enough to potentially recoat in some area roads that have been cleared, or also a brief period of freezing rain might be possible in some areas too, which could allow some icy areas to redevelop in areas that may not see as much snow return. We do have winter weather advisories in place until early afternoon. I think once we get to that point, things will start to improve, especially as our temperatures come up above freezing a little bit later on this morning, but we still got to get there first, and plenty of snow still to go. Now, keep in mind, while this is showing mostly snow over mid-Michigan, there has been some reported sleet across parts of the area. Our photographer Dale, who's been in our Road Warrior all morning long, said he saw some sleet pretty much from Birch Run off to the south. So again, you might hear a little bit of that hit your windshield this morning, and just some plain old rain as you look farther to the southwest towards Chicago and some areas of southwestern lower Michigan. That could make an appearance before this event is done as well. Our live on-time traffic map has been lit up like a Christmas tree pretty much all morning long. No accidents being reported at this time, but keep in mind the key word there is reported. There could be some that aren't showing up on our map, so just take it easy out there. Bottom line, there's plenty of slowdowns. Visibility also a little bit lower in many spots as well, down to around 1 to 2 miles in areas off to the north and west, and temperatures still below freezing just about everywhere with winds in the teens. Speaking of winds, those coming out of the southeast about 10 to 20 miles per hour this morning. So those will be blowing across west to east roads and even at an angle across some of our north and south roads. So blowing snow could be a factor on your morning drive. Next 12 hours does show things improve in the afternoon as we do get warmer, but then we cool down late tonight and into tomorrow. So we could have a dicey morning commute at times tomorrow as well. We'll break all this down in more detail coming up.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. We are taking a live look for you right now at Birch Run. Not a lot of cars out, but you can see some of those roads still coated, even if it's a light dusting. MDOT crews are taking the morning to clear off those roads. Be sure to take it easy out there. And we are talking with Associate Region Engineer Kim Zimmer this morning. And Kim, thanks so much for waking up. How is cleanup going so far? Do you know how many maintenance trucks are out for us this morning?
I believe we have around a dozen out. Our crews have been out. We extended our afternoon shift to 2:30 a.m. and then our morning crews came in at 2:30 a.m. So we've been able to have full coverage. I know they're currently blading off the snow-covered roads and applying salt, and they are seeing a mix of snow and sleet on our roadways.
Okay, very good. And I just wanted to get a little specific for our drivers all across mid-Michigan. Do you know how those conditions are looking for drivers maybe more north of the Tri-Cities?
I was talking with our crews in Saginaw, so they're the ones that are reporting that they're seeing the mix of snow and sleet. I have not been in contact with our county partners.
Okay, and how about drivers along I-75 maybe heading south to Flint or from Flint north to Saginaw? How is roads looking there?
Yeah, they said they're clearing the snow-covered roads off, and they're applying salt on all the ramps and on the roadway and at the intersections. And they said things are improving as they continue their work.
Okay, yeah, and we have a few images here where we see some roads, are wet, at least cleared off. Other roads have some snow on them. So any advice for drivers who are headed out this morning? Just some rule of thumb tips.
Yep, some tips are drive for conditions, allow extra time to get to your destination, and leave room between your vehicle and the plow so they can see you. They have a lot going on while they're trying to clear the roads, and so we want everybody to make it to their destination safe.
All right, very good, and very important. All right, Kim, thanks you so much for being here with us this morning. Of course, you can send us your winter weather pictures. Just submit them on WNEM.com. Of course, stay with us for updates all morning long. You can get up-to-the-minute conditions and forecasts on the TV5 mobile app. You'll find that in the App Store or on Google Play. Well, stimulus checks could be on the way sooner than you think. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin tweeted checks should have started arriving by direct deposit last night. Those paper checks will be mailed out today. But lawmakers are at a standstill over raising the amount. Deborah Alfarone is on Capitol Hill with details on that and problems with vaccine distribution.
The latest round of coronavirus stimulus payments have started hitting bank accounts.
The need is high.
Central Texas Food Bank President Derek Chubb says the $600 check is a temporary fix for the people his agency is helping.
Just because we're giving stimulus now, it doesn't necessarily get people out of the hole that they're already in.
On Capitol Hill,
Object.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked a vote to increase the stimulus to $2,000.
Do we turn our backs on struggling working families, or do we respond to their pain?
The coronavirus relief bill that Congress passed last week has nearly $9 billion for vaccine distribution. President-elect Biden says lawmakers are going to have to give more money to meet his goal of 100 million shots in his first 100 days.
I'm going to move heaven and earth to get us going in the right direction.
About 2 million Americans have gotten the vaccine, far short of the Trump administration's goal of 20 million by year's end.
10 months into this pandemic, we're still talking about the basics of how do we get vaccines into people's arms.
In Florida's Lee County, seniors are camping out to get the vaccine at a first-come, first-served basis.
I had such an emotional reaction to getting this thing because it's like getting your get-out-of-jail card free.
More than 3,700 Americans died from the coronavirus yesterday. That includes Luke Letlow, who is just days away from being sworn in as Louisiana's newest congressman. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
Now, Letlow was admitted to the hospital on December 19th after testing positive and later placed in intensive care. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. Back in Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer says the state is making great strides in slowing the spread of the virus.
And now, because of the actions that we've taken and because so many Michiganders have done their part, our numbers are better than all of our Midwestern neighbors.
Yesterday, Whitmer signed a relief bill allocating money to families, businesses, and frontline workers. She also extended unemployment benefits to 700,000 people. That aid comes as the state reported more than 3,400 new cases of coronavirus and 193 new deaths. 105 of those were identified during a vital records review. But there is some potentially disturbing news just a few states away. A Colorado man in his 20s is the first known person in the U.S. to be diagnosed with a new strain of coronavirus that was detected in the U.K. last week. It's not known to be worse, but it is potentially more contagious. Stay with TV5 as we learn more about the patient in the coming days. More local news. A driver accused in the hit and run of a horse-drawn carriage is facing arraignment today. Police in Frankenmuth say a Jeep rear-ended the carriage Sunday afternoon on Main Street and took off. The driver of the carriage was hospitalized briefly. They are now recovering. That horse also in recovery. Happening today, First Presbyterian Church in Saginaw is hosting a drive-through giveaway, food giveaway. That's at 121 South Harrison. You can start lining up at 11:30. The food will be distributed starting at 1 until supplies last. It is first come, first served. Good morning to you. If you're just waking up with us, TV5 News time is 6:10. A family is mourning the loss of a grandmother and her grandson gunned down in a drive-by shooting. What police know so far about their deaths. And Moderna created a coronavirus vaccine, and now their employees will receive it. Why the company says it's essential, their workers are protected. All right, taking a look outside now at our road warrior van taking to the roads on I-75. Some slowdowns in our area, so if you are headed out, a few extra minutes wouldn't hurt. We'll be right back.